How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and in today's video, I'll be ranking all Home Depot Halloween 2021 animatronics from worst to best. Now, obviously, it is as simple as that, and since this is a ranking video, I should mention that this is my opinion and my opinion only. If you have a different opinion, and if you say I don't like something that you really like, that is just my opinion. Don't get mad at me. You're all entitled to your own opinion, and if you have a different opinion than me, I respect that, and I could not care less if you like it or hate it. So I'm just here to share my opinions today and rank them all for you. I feel like that's pretty necessary since I get a lot of comments saying that, no, you should put this there, but it's my opinion. And I'm not going to agree exactly with yours, so everybody has their own different opinions, and that's just pretty much what makes everybody different. Otherwise, everyone would be exactly the same. So nonetheless, in today's video, I will be ranking all the Home Depot animatronics. So I just need to specify a few rules before we get started. I won't be ranking any reskins in this video. I feel like I just shouldn't really do it. There's going to be one exception, being the Ghost Bride, since that's kind of a reskin of a Party City prop, but I feel like it's different enough where it should just be ranked anyways, since it's a very unique prop, and I feel like it could just go on this list anyways. So yeah, that's the only technical reskin that will be included, even though it hardly is. It's basically a brand new prop. But other than that, everything else will be included. And obviously, I guess if you want to consider this a reskin, even though I don't, the giant pumpkin guy, he's going to be included too. He's not even a reskin. The reskins I'm talking about are the Jack in the Box and the Flaming Scarecrow reskins. Those will not be included, and I think there's like one other one I can't remember, but yeah. Also, no 3-foot characters except for like the Pumpkin Twins and the Mad Scientist duo. I'm not going to just do any of the standalone 3-foot guys. I don't really think they should count on this list. I feel like the Pumpkin Twins are just different enough that they could be considered different than just the little 3-foot guys. So yeah, those are pretty much all the rules. So I guess without any more hesitation, let's just get right into it. Coming in last at our list is the Spellcasting Witch, to really no one's surprise if you watch my video where I talked about all my opinions. So even though I had a whole separate video where I talked about my opinions on all these props, I'm going to keep it a little bit more brief here. If you want to go check that video out, go ahead. I highly recommend watching it. But I'll just give a few reasons why she's last. First of all, this is one of the most generic witch props ever. It's just a dumb, stupid witch. Nothing scary, creepy, or even good about it in general. The only thing I do like is the book mold. I think that looks really good and detailed. Everything else about this prop sucks. The face mold looks awful. Her voice is terrible. And just her overall design is really stupid. We've seen so much stuff like this before. I'm kind of just sick of these dumb, goofy witches. Some of my least favorite Halloween props in general. I hate this one. Definitely a bad prop. It sucks in my opinion. And just a really big failure. I doubt this will be sold in stores this year, probably just online only, and that's a good thing. It's just a very underwhelming, generic, and lazy prop. At number 15, which is second to last, we have the Rocking Witch. Now, obviously, to no one's surprise, again, this is another one of my least favorite props from Home Depot this year, being second to last. The reason why I think this one is a little bit better is because it's a lot less generic. Definitely not more creepy, but it's less generic, and there's a little bit more to like here than the other one, with pretty much the other one having nothing. But there's a few things I like about this one. For one, it's pretty unique with the doll on her lap. That's pretty much it, though. And I guess the way her hair is, it's not like, and she doesn't have like a stupid looking hat on. But overall, I don't like this one at all. Again, I just think it's really stupid. The phrases are terrible. The animation is simple. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the animation here. The character is just dumb. And the one problem with the animation is that when she rocks, she pretty much crushes the doll in her lap, which is kind of funny looking. But it just goes to show you how bad this prop is. I don't understand why Home Depot needs to have a rocking witch prop every year. I guess last year they did have a rocking prop that wasn't a witch, but still, we don't need to have a rocking prop from Home Depot every year. It's getting a little bit annoying, and this definitely shows that I think it's time to end this rocking chair series. I'm getting tired of it. Most of the props in it suck. Especially this one. This one's probably the worst yet, and really just goes to show that I think it's time to pull the plug on this series. Coming in at our number 14 spot, we have the Queen of the Underworld. Now, if you watch my opinions video, you would have known that this is another one I do not like very much. And for good reason, too. I don't really like the medieval stuff a lot. The face looks stupid with, like, the mouth. It's obviously not realistic at all. And the face just has such little detail. It looks so plasticky. And whatever company made this, I think it was Pack, really failed here, especially with the face. And again, the medieval stuff doesn't really fit me very well. But again, there is so much more to like here than the other two. In fact, I do like this one a little bit, not very much though. Definitely one of the worst props from this year from Home Depot, but miles better than the previous two. I think the detail is great here, though. With the clothes, everything, except for her face, of course, looks great. So much detail packed in here. One of the most detailed-looking suits or clothing we've had on a prop. And overall, I think for people who do like medieval stuff, this will be a really cool one for them. But now, for me personally, I don't like it very much, and that's why it is at number 14 on the list. Coming in at our number 13 spot, we have the animated monster. Now, this obviously is just a Frankenstein prop made by Pack. They've done so much stuff like this before. I'm pretty sure they had a Frankenstein prop last year on Home Depot's website again, but this is a new one for this year. The reason why it's going this low is because we've seen so many props like this from Pack. I'm pretty sure they have like 3 life-size Frankensteins by now. And this is just another one being added on to that list. Very generic in my opinion. It's a lot better than the Queen. I do like it quite a bit. I like how the wire is going through his head. But just one I don't really like very much. It's, again, very basic, very generic. And one I think people will like, but, you know, it's been done so many times before. I don't think we really needed to see another one. But I don't know. I'll let you decide whether you like it or not. I like it, but not that much. Again, just there's really not much to say because of how basic and overdone it is at this point. I do like the chains and stuff, but it's fine. At number 12, we have King of the Underworld. Now, this is another medieval prop I don't like very much. I do think it is better than the Frankenstein, though. I think the detail here is better. I think the character here is better. And I just like it a lot more than the Frankenstein. But again, I'm not really into the medieval stuff at all. But I think this one, for being medieval, was done pretty well. I do like how he looks. I like how they gave him the zombified look here. Would have just been really boring and basic just to see a human face on him. So the zombified look looks great here, in my opinion. He's an undead king. I think it looks pretty cool. His beard and his hair are fine, I guess. The beard looks better than the hair. I don't know why the hair looks so weird, in my opinion, I guess. The detail here on his clothes, again, just like the Queen, is really good. I do like that a lot. And his staff is pretty cool as well. But overall, I'm not the biggest fan of this guy. Again, just the medieval stuff doesn't appeal to me very much. And I don't think it really matches Halloween very well. But I do think this was a good attempt at a king prop, and probably the best one we'll see ever, in my opinion. I do love the undead look again, and I just think it looks really good for being a medieval prop. But again, not my thing. Coming in at number 11, we have the Haunting Ghost Bride. Now, of course, this was one of the exceptions I put on the list as being a reskin. It is pretty much a brand new prop, in my opinion. Obviously, the one before it was the Lady in Grey or something like that, who was just a very generic, like, pretty much all-white ghost at Party City last year. But this one, I think, in my opinion, is a lot better since there's so much more detail, and it's only $100 as well, which I think is a fantastic price for this. Now, I'm not sure if this will be sold in stores or online only. I have a feeling this one may be online only, but I'm not sure yet. Again, I like this one a lot, actually. It's going this low on my list because I think all the other props are just a little bit more unique and better. Because to be honest, bride props are actually done a lot more than you think. I mean, recently we haven't had many, but there's going to be one at Spear Halloween this year, which looks better than this. But I do like the way this one looks a lot. I like the aesthetic. It has the very goth aesthetic going on. The face mold looks great as well. I love the red eyes there. They look very creepy, and the details on the face look great as well. Overall, I love the aesthetic here. The animation is fine, and overall, I think she's a very good prop, but I just like everything else a little bit better than her coming up on this list. So that's why she's only at number 11, but again, don't take that as me thinking she's a bad prop. I think Home Depot did a really good job this year, so a lot of their props are really good. But this one is coming at a number 11 because I think it is not as good as the other ones. Now we're in the top 10, and at number 10 we have the Mad Scientist and Mini Mad Scientist. Now, I do like these guys a lot. They're so unique. The creativity here was great on Pack's part. I absolutely love the way these ones came out. I do think they are pretty good. I do think they look a little bit cheap for Pack, though, unfortunately. I don't know why. They just have this little cheap aesthetic of them. Maybe it's from the light inside the hair. Maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe it's the pose of him. I don't know, but I do like this one a lot, and I think it is well overpriced, unfortunately. This one should only probably been maybe 140 to 280, or 140 to 180. But unfortunately, he's like 280 or something like that, which is not worth it at all, in my opinion. And very unfortunate pricing on Home Depot's part. Normally, they have these amazing prices, but this one, I don't understand what went wrong with him being priced so high. But I do still love these guys a lot. Both characters are great here. I love how the Big Mad Scientist is running tests on the little one, and their dialogue back and forth is pretty funny as well, and I do like the way these guys turned out again. And it is cool to see Pack making. I always wanted to have Pack an interactive prop, since they do a lot of those where two little props interact with each other, and I love how they did a life-size one and a 3-foot one, since they're really known for their 3-foot characters, and I'm happy that they actually made one like that, since I've kind of been thinking that could be a great prop for a while now. Also, I do like how they incorporate the electrical box here. It does shake and stuff, which is really cool. And overall, I love these guys a lot. It is finally nice to see some Mad Scientist props again. Even though these are on the more goofy and classic Halloween side, I still really enjoy them, and I think they'll be great. Coming in at number 9, we have the Grave Warrior. Now, this is definitely my favorite out of all the medieval props from Home Depot this year. I actually really love this guy. Even though he is medieval, I think that this thing looks awesome. I love what they did here. There's so much detail. It looks fantastic. I just overall really love this guy, so let's break him down a little bit. First of all, I love his animation. It looks great. How he has head turning, mouth movement, and side-to-side movement. It looks fantastic in my opinion. Very lifelike, and I really enjoy it. His overall look in terms of how much detail is in there is phenomenal. The face mold, the hat mold, the helmet mold, I mean, all looks phenomenal. His armor that he has on is also great, and I love how when it's actual, not plastic armor, it's printed to look like chainmail, or yeah, chain link armor. I love the way that looks. That looks awesome. Now, the one thing I would change is he would be holding the axe with both hands instead of just holding it with one. It kind of looks weird that way, a little bit unrealistic there. If he was holding it like diagonally with both hands, I think that would have looked a lot better than the current position he is holding it. Unfortunately, that would have made this prop a little bit better in my opinion. But nonetheless, he is still an awesome prop, and I really hope he's in stores this year, since he's definitely one of the better medieval props. And I'm not planning on getting this one, but I still think he looks awesome. At our number 8 spot, we have the giant Inferno pumpkin skeleton. Now, this guy isn't a reskin in my opinion. It is just another take on the giant monster 12-foot props. Obviously we have the skeleton, now this, and I'm assuming there's going to be another one next year. But unfortunately, I do like this one a lot, even though there are some major flaws with it. So let's break that down. First of all, I don't understand why they had to choose the skeleton body type on him. Again, they could have done something a lot more original here. I don't understand why most pumpkin creatures have to have a skeletal-like body. That makes me so angry. It really ruins a lot of pumpkin monster props for me. The face on this one, it looks good. Again, it looks skeletal, which is it looks like a skull, which is again unfortunate. It could have just looked like a normal jack-o'-lantern, and that's a pretty big downside for me. I also don't like the eye LCD screens they chose. They could have done something original instead of just reusing the same eye animation over and over and over again on all of them, which is again very, very annoying. Overall, I do like this creature a lot, though. I think he's going to be another good seller. I don't understand why he has to be $50 more than the 12-foot skeleton. I'm assuming it's because of the flickering lights inside him, and there's obviously a lot more detail here, and the way his arms are posed probably makes it harder, so there's probably some more, like, strings or straps you have to put onto the ground. Overall, I do think he is a good follow-up to the 12-foot skeleton, but not as good as the 12-foot skeleton, in my opinion. I think the 12-foot skeleton is just more classic Halloween, but this one does look great as well, and if you're an owner of a farm or a pumpkin patch, this one will go great anywhere in there, and I think this one, again, will probably not sell as well as the 12-foot skeleton, but sell definitely close and sell similar numbers to the 12-foot skeleton. At number 7, we have the Pumpkin Twins. Now, I love these things so much, so let me explain why. First of all, their face molds. I love these so much. They managed to capture this perfect mix between creepy and cartoonish, and it looks phenomenal here. It fits these characters so well. I love the designs here. They're so Tim Burton-esque, which these whole creatures remind me of something that Tim Burton would put into maybe Nightmare Before Christmas or something like that. They remind me of that movie a lot here. I love the little trick-or-treat bags they had that add so much to these characters. Their hands also look pretty nice. They're nicely sculpted as well. And their little suits, they do look like pilgrim outfits, but I don't really care. It fits these characters as little farmer pumpkins. I don't know. They look great, and I love how they're supposed to be trick-or-treaters as well, which is another one of my favorite things about these two little guys. Again, the mouth animation is a huge surprise to me. I was only expecting them to maybe turn their heads from side to side and their heads would light up with what they're saying, but I'm definitely happy to see that there's mouth animation instead of what I just described. I love the mouth animation a lot more than if we were just to have their heads turned from side to side. So these guys are awesome in my opinion, and I cannot wait to see them. I really hope they're in stores this year. I feel like these are going to be really good sellers. Again, they're only $80. So that's basically $40 each, which is the price of a typical pack 3-foot prop. So very interesting and very awesome. I love these guys a lot. At number 6, this may be a little bit controversial, but the Inferno Reaper. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this guy. I don't know why he's this low on the list, if I'm being honest. I honestly feel like I should be liking him a lot more than I do, but I don't know. He's just kind of basic in my opinion. Originally, he looked incredible, and I was really hoping for him to be like really good. I do think he is really good. I love how he has up and down movement in his head. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty much like a budget version of Grimm from Spirit Halloween this year. I'm pretty sure his head for the up and down motion is servo controlled, which is really cool. Don't get me wrong. I think that is awesome that more props are using these professional methods of animatronics, and just very cool to see servos being introduced into these home grade or consumer grade animatronics and not professional ones. Overall, I think this guy is still great. The phrases are great. His overall look is great, but I do think he's a little bit basic. I really think they could have went way in on the fiery theme here and done a little bit more. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I do think he is good, though. I really wish I liked him better than I do, but unfortunately, he isn't that long on the list if he's only number 6. But I don't know. I just think he could have been a lot better. Unfortunately, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who disagree with me here, but for putting him this low, I mean, it's not even that low, but still, I don't know. I think he is a good prop, though, but unfortunately, I just don't like him as much as I thought I would. Now we're in the top 5, and at number 5, we have the man-eating plant. Now, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who won't agree with me putting him at number 5. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people's favorites for this year. But I do love him a lot, and number 5 is very high up on the list. So please don't complain. Again, this is my opinion. But I love the man-eating plant a lot, actually. Yeah, I think he's a great prop. It's finally nice to see a man-eating plant animatronic for once. Like, I don't think we've seen one ever, even by professional prop companies. So it's finally really cool to see a man-eating plant prop, and it is a good one. Don't get me wrong. I love this one a lot. Unfortunately, the phrases are very bad on this. I don't understand what they were thinking when making the phrases for this. They're like awful, in my opinion. But that doesn't really take away from the prop that much. I still think he is so cool. For only $120, he looks gigantic. He is 6 feet tall, but he also looks just big in general. His head looks huge, and he's very intimidating. I'm sure he's going to be very intimidating in person. The animation is great here too. I believe he is also able to move from side to side, or this may just be the prototype version with the lunging animation, and the final version will move from side to side. I don't know. I think I do like the lunging animation better. It looks more original and unique than just him moving from side to side, or there could be a mode that turns him on and off from that or moving side to side, but I don't know. This is probably just the prototype version, since the final version I'm pretty sure will just turn from side to side again. nonetheless, I absolutely love the way this thing came out. I think it looks great in my opinion. I just love the leaves on it. I think the detailing was great here on Home Depot's part, and I just do like it a lot. He looks very big. His animation is also good. Also, his bottom jaw is just made out of this super flimsy plastic, which is pretty unfortunate since that will probably crack if not taken care of properly, and it'll just pretty much ruin the whole prop. Hopefully, maybe the final version will have thicker plastic for the bottom jaw, but I don't know. Overall, I just love this guy a lot, and I think he is great. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the Headless Horseman. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite props from Home Depot this year, obviously, coming in number 4. He's just great, in my opinion. I know there probably will be a few people who don't really agree with me on this, but I do love this guy a lot, in my opinion. I think he is a great Headless Horseman prop, definitely one of the best. I still do like the one that's riding the horse better, but this comes second, mainly because of his axe. I love how he's holding that giant axe. It looks fantastic, and his details in his clothes are pretty good too. I like the cape. It definitely looks very similar to how he would look. And the pumpkin design I think is alright. It's not the best. I do like it a lot though. And it is so awesome how it has mouth animation as well. That was definitely a huge surprise to see. I love that mouth animation it has. It's great. Overall, I really love this Headless Horseman prop. It's definitely deserves the number 4 spot on this list. Easily one of my favorite Headless Horsemen of all time in prop form. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that Headless Horseman. Now we're finally up to the top 3, and coming in at number 3 is the Dark Angel. Now, this one was definitely one of my favorites right off the bat. This was the first thing they showed us officially, Home Depot. This was the first thing in the teaser we saw before they put their before everything got leaked. So as right away, I knew this one would be awesome. I absolutely love the way this one looks. I love those feathered wings. His phrases are great as well. And you may not be able to tell from this video, but this guy is gigantic. He is just huge. Not just in height, but also just his overall size is massive. He looks absolutely amazing. If you could just imagine him, next to you, trust me, you're probably only going to be up to the height of the sword, depending on how tall you are. But his hands are probably twice the size of normal human hands. His head is probably twice the size of a normal human head. Just think of a normal human, but double the size of a normal human. That's what this guy pretty much is. He is only 7.5 feet tall, I'm pretty sure, which is still very tall. But trust me, if this one is sold in person or is sold at Home Depot, you'll be amazed by how big this guy is. He looks gigantic. And that's one of the other reasons why I like him. And just overall, I think his aesthetic and design is really great, and I absolutely love him. Now, down to our second spot on the list, the Ferry of the Dead. This prop is truly incredible. I do think he's overpriced. I'm just going to get that right out there. $400 is definitely very pricey for this. Sure, there's so much here. The boat is gigantic. The character inside is amazing. The detail, there's so much detail packed in here. I do think that is kind of a fair price, but I think maybe $300 would be a lot more justified, especially for Home Depot. But nonetheless, this is a truly incredible and amazing prop. I just love everything about it. There's so much detail packed into everything here, and there's just so much thought put into this prop. This is definitely one of PAX's best props to date, in my opinion. I absolutely adore this thing. I love it so much. It's definitely going to be so awesome to see in person. I really hope it's being it's going to be at the store this year. I'm sure it will be. But the figure inside is incredible. The boat, incredible. And again, just so much detail. I just wish, the only thing I wish was that there was an actual paddle on the end of the oar he is holding. Or, yeah, that's what that's called. So it would actually look like he's rowing, but otherwise he's just holding the stick. But anyways, this thing is amazing. I love the lighting on it too. There's plenty of lighting, which is nice. And I think this will be a really good prop this year. And I'm sure when you see it in person, it's going to look a lot bigger than it does here. And yeah, overall, I love the Ferry of the Dead. Such a unique, creative, and an incredible prop on Home Depot's part. So props to them. This is awesome. Now, finally, we're down to our number 1 spot, and coming in at number 1 is none other than the Jester, to probably no one's surprise, but here he is, the Jester. I absolutely love the 3-face Jester. He is easily my favorite prop from Home Depot this year, and maybe my favorite prop out of everything this year. There's still a lot to come, but right now he's my favorite out of everything. I absolutely love this guy so much, so let me just break down everything. First of all, his phrases, they're actually a lot better than I was expecting. From the original leaked phrases that he had, they really did not sound very good. But after I heard a few more of his phrases, they actually sound pretty good, and I really like them a lot now. They're definitely not like the best phrases we've ever heard. But for a clown, and going on the fact that most clowns have awful audio, this one is actually pretty good, up there with some of the better ones. Still not the best, but again, I like it. Now, the fact that the masks are interchangeable and you can swap them out is genius. I love that so much. That's like not even something Spirit would do. I love that so much. It just lets you add your own unique parts to the prop. I'm probably going to use them if I do end up getting him, which is pretty likely. I'm probably just going to end up using the main mask he holds, like in this video. I feel like the tragedy and the comedy masks just work better together, since obviously they're like the duo there. But overall, I absolutely love this guy. The detail is incredible, and as far as I can tell, the materials used here are like really high quality, especially even for SVI. Like, this is some pretty high quality materials, and him only being $200 that's just icing onto the cake here, that this prop is incredible. What else can I say? He is awesome. His animation is great. Just everything about him is incredible, and I really cannot wait to have him. He also does look pretty big. He's in like this crouched over or squatting position almost, so if he were actually fully standing, kind of like crouchy almost, he would be probably a lot taller, but I think he's around like 5.5 feet, which is still a lot, like, especially for something like this. And I'm just really excited to see him in person and get him. I can't really say much more because this is going to take forever. I could just go all day about how much I love him. But the three-faced Jester of the Underworld definitely deserves the #1 spot out of all the Home Depot Halloween 2021 animatronics. Well, everyone, that's it for today's video. Make sure to let me know which Home Depot props are your favorite this year. You can even give me your own list in the comments below. That'd be very well appreciated. And you could share your own opinions with me and stuff. That would be great. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Also, be sure to like and subscribe, and check out the merch and my Instagram in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. So, as always, this is the Pixelated Pumpkin, signing out.